What is up there, YouTubers? This is Bradley, the Gaming Mole here, and I am giving another YouTube channel update for August 2016. Now, I'm not going to lie and say that there isn't much going on, but it's really just a lot of things going on for my end. Like I mentioned last month, there was a lot of things that I needed to have, that was suggested I have done for the YouTube channel itself. And I'm still working through it because it's really an eternal laundry list of things I have to get done for it, ranging from like just video pics and annotations to just like working out my channel banner and other things of the sort. So I'm gonna try and give you like an update as to what changes that you will see or already are seeing happening with the channel. So first up is the video release schedule. Now, after working this out for a bit, although I'm still trying to figure things out for the most part, it's like the times are pretty much going to be 9 a.m., 12 p.m., and 9 p.m. for the times the videos to be released. And this is all based on Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to try and keep the 9 p.m. block as usually for the time where the games are going to be, where it's going to be like the longer videos, since that's generally when a lot of people are actually at home during this time, and they're either going to be watching TV, playing whatever game system they own, or watching YouTube. What I am trying to work into this is a 12 a.m. block. I still haven't exactly gotten anything ready for that block yet, and I'm not exactly sure if that will be the best time for another video. But right now it's 3 videos. I want to work to have I want to try and have like at least 3 to 5 videos a day for the most part. And generally I'll have like I will almost guarantee that it will be 3 videos every day. And I'll have the other 2 videos left out so that where I can just insert like whatever at any random time for right now. But that's why I'm also trying to work in a 12 a.m. block. The 9 a.m. and the 12 p.m. block are pretty much going to be like shorter games. Like generally shorter games, like ones that don't exactly take me too long to run through. And particularly on weekends, with the exception of the 9 p.m. block, I want to try and have those games like show something different than what's being normally shown on the weekdays, which is Monday through Friday. Now, what I'm trying to work in for the 12 a.m. block is I might throw my commentary videos into that block. So that way I'll have the other videos released. I'll have the other videos released at the right time, and also there will be something to watch with commentary. And speaking of commentary, I am getting back into doing commentary, but at the same time, I'm only going to do commentary on certain games. I'm not going to do it on every single game because it's obvious that there's a lot of games that people just aren't interested in for the most part. And so I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste my time and effort trying to trying to do commentary for videos where people are constantly demanding I do commentary, and then when I do it, there's little to no response or reception for the game. Also for my sanity, The commentary videos will be rendered at 720p if applicable. And this is pretty much, and like I said, it's to keep my sanity, because if I try to do higher than 720p, then I'm looking at a time of watching a video render itself for 5+ hours. And I really don't want to sit here with my computer on for for practically half a day at worst, just for one video to finish processing. And then there's also the time to upload it, which is not comfortable either. So that's why I want to render it down to 720p. So it will still be HD, but it will just be 720p. Another thing that I wanted to bring up. So another thing I wanted to bring up is like the current issues I am trying to sort out over here. One of the main issues, like I mentioned before, is that I'm trying to get a new PS3 pad, and pretty much I'm trying to find one with 6 axis. Now, at this point, I hopefully have solved the issue, because I did just order a new PS3 pad. I ordered a new PS3 pad that's supposed to be new in the package, like unopened package. So this should work compared to the last 3 compared to the others that I bought. And hopefully that'll sort things out with me and my PlayStation 3, and I won't have to like delay videos or have to complain that my controller is not working. Now, I honestly would not be concerned about having a control. I honestly wouldn't be concerned about having a controller with 6 axis, but there's a couple of games that I do play that actually make use of the 6 axis in one way or another. Some more than others, and if I didn't have those games, then I wouldn't even think twice about it, and I would just stick to a corded controller. Now, I've also been trying to isolate the issue itself, and I still haven't found an actual issue for my controller problems, because there's a lot of people that say like, oh, it's a controller, you need to open it up and do whatever and do this, that, or the other, or it's the PlayStation 3 itself because of a firmware update, or it's the PlayStation 3 because it's got a lot of dust. I mean, or there's somebody that's interfering with your Bluetooth signals, and it's interfering with your controller. I don't know the exact problem myself, and I'm still trying to figure it out. So hopefully the issue is just that it's a controller thing. Okay, so another thing I wanted to address is it hasn't been exactly a huge issue, but I have been seeing this noticeably come up. I've been generally asked this question of, will I play whatever insert game here? Now, here's the thing that surrounds like my choices of whether or not I will play whatever game or not. The first thing is the age rating. And like I mentioned before, I don't play M-rated titles. And this is really for my sake. And considering everything I've seen in the 29 years of my life. Like, I just don't feel I don't really feel comfortable with playing M-rated games. As hypocritical as this sounds, I don't feel comfortable with these games anymore. It's like I'm also trying to like get myself away from watching M-rated games on YouTube because there's a lot of that going on around YouTube, and it's rather difficult to. Well, I wouldn't say it's difficult, but it really is like, okay, well, this popular YouTuber is playing this game now and won't be playing a different game for a long time. Another thing, like another factor that I have is like, am I actually going to be interested in this game? And what I mean by this is like, am I going to be interested to the point where I'll play it more than one day or really 1 week? Like, I don't want to sit here and either buy a game or start a game that to others they find like massively interesting, and when I play it, it's just like I had to get put to sleep, or I'm just like, I don't really feel like playing this game. And honestly, to be honest, I find that the games that fall into this category are like games that are heavily dependent on multiplayer, or games that really require that I devote all my time and energy to it. Games, for example, would be like Minecraft, Terraria, Gmod, Gary's Mod, MOBAs or MMOs. They tend to fall into this category where you really have to devote yourself to the game in order to get a lot out of it. And to be honest, I've tried a lot of these games I have tried, and I generally just come across problems like the game gets, especially if I actually manage to find somebody to play with, it's like the game will get boring, and that person or the person that I'm playing the game with will he or she gets bored of the game, and then they leave. Like, they leave the game and they never come back to it, which basically just leaves me on my own. And I'm like, well, I don't really feel like playing this game either because of all these other people. Or I get bored of the game. And this generally happens when the community that surrounds the game is heavily toxic, like League of Legends. Now, I like League of Legends, but dealing with the community and having to deal with the huge skill gap that I have compared to all the other players is a real pain, and it's very discouraging to even try. Another thing is, like, I get left behind. It's either because I'm sitting here, I want to try to play a different game, or the friends that I'm playing with are like so far ahead of me because they just stuck to that game like glue for a real long time. And they just decide to just this is typical for pretty much any MMO game. It's like, okay, well, your buddy hasn't played in a long time, and you're so far ahead of him, and you're already like taking on these type of quests. But now your friend finally comes back, and he's so far behind. Like, you want to try, at first you want to try and help him or her, like, get back. It's like, get up to your level. But then you decide, like, okay, well, this is just taking far too much effort for me to even try, and I'm just gonna leave this person behind. Now that's happened to me. That's actually happened to me a couple of times with games, and it's also why I pretty much decided not to buy games based on like a bunch of friends approaching me saying like, "Hey, let's play this game together." Because that's happened to me before, where I've had friends that literally like they sped through the game enough to where they already beaten the game. They're taking on like the master type quest or whatever, like the extra hard quest, and they're getting all the great important equipment, that makes mine look like a joke. And then it's like, hey, like, why don't you come play with us? And then they'll be like, well, I don't want to because you guys are too far behind. Or they just move on to another game. And another reason is like I mentioned before, is like the skill gap being far too vast. And this actually happens to me a lot because oftentimes I end up getting the game late. So the game's been out for a long time, and either people have already left the game to move on to the next game, which I hate, or there's a lot of people that play that game and they're so far skilled. Like, they're so far over skilled than you that pretty much everybody that's like, I kind of want to say, I don't want to say the word casual, but really they're beginners at the game and they just play the game for whatever reason. Like, play the game for like fun or whatever. They don't want to play anymore because like there's nobody else to play with except for all these good people. And all these good people are just like are destroying them so badly that it's like, okay, well, it's either I'm going to stick with this game or I'm just going to move on. And the easiest choice is to just move on. I honestly describe this as like being at a restaurant with a group of friends, like, and you're still finishing your meal, like you're still finishing your meal while one of your friends is already calling for the check, so he can just pay and leave. Another one is like just busy. The other one is busy talking to their boyfriend or girlfriend. And eventually it just gets to the point that it's like, okay, well, they just wanted to do separate checks. So now, like, instead of pooling all their money together, now it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to pay for myself. It's not that I can't deal with this stuff, but I'd rather not deal with games that are heavily dependent on having others to play with. It's especially when these games are like heavy time eaters, to where you have, and what I mean by that is like you have to devote like most of your life into actually making some real progress in the game. And the last factor I have with this, or issue, is whether or not I have the money to actually get the game in the first place. Now, I'm already I have to say that I'm past that age bracket where disposable income is just like not there for me. And disposable income is like money that you pretty much you have that you can just spend on whatever the heck you want, and you don't have to like put it towards bills or just living your life, making sure you live for the next day. Like, I'm generally already outside the age bracket. So trying to get consoles that cost $300 to $500 with $150 games is not very favorable to me. It's generally why I went through GameFly to try and get most of my games, because now I don't have to really deal with paying an arm and a leg to try and get a game. And the reason why I say like $150 games is because of all the DLC that comes with it. You know, it's obviously going to be like $100 for like all the DLC content. Anyway, like the games and the consoles cost so much money, and not having access to that money is really can really like set me back quite a bit, because it'll be like, oh well, hey, you're gonna get this game when it comes out, and it's like, well, I can't because I don't have the money. So now, like by the time I have the money, the game is either old or the next game in the series is already out. And I actually said this about consoles as well. It's like by the time I get a new console, I end up like the next console actually comes out. Now I kind of avoided this. I kind of avoided this statement when I got my PlayStation 3 because the PS4 came out the same year, but only like 1 or 2 months later. So the thing about this is, like, when I see comments that tell me like, "Oh, you should get the latest console or you should get the latest game so that way you'll get more views," I honestly have to respond like this: like, either find a way to where I can clone myself, or figure out a way where I can stay up 24 hours without needing sleep. And I'm referring to that one episode of American Dad where Stan actually got those pills that allow you to stay up for 24 hours and you don't need sleep at all. So you basically have all this extra time on your hands to do things that you normally couldn't do because it's all being wasted on everything else. So that pretty much goes as to what factors in as to whether or not I'll get a game or not. Another slight issue I want to bring up is Pokemon Go. And the short and simple explanation of this is I don't have Pokemon Go. I can't download it, and I'm honestly actually rather happy I can't download it. I'm stretched thin as it is with my current set of games. So I really don't need a highly addictive game to crowd the rest of my life as well. It's not the whole like, oh well, these people are stupid because they're getting into accidents because they're not paying attention to their surroundings. It's more that I see the game more as this game is going to take up a huge portion of my life, and I won't be able to do anything else. Like, I won't be able to do anything else but play this game. I know this game is mad popular, and I'm seeing it constantly across YouTube as like so many people playing the game. Like, oh, I got this Pokemon, or oh, this is my adventure. I honestly don't care much about that, and I just rather stick to the games on the handheld in that regard. So yeah, that's my whole thing with Pokemon Go. Now, as for the current games that are being uploaded to the channel as of right now, Odin Spear and Leif Thrasir, I've actually already finished the game. I finished it last week or the week before. I got the good ending. I'm just rendering all the commentary parts. I will do the extra stuff on the game, but I'm not gonna do the commentary because I've looked at the views for that game, and it's rather small for my entire set of Odin Spear videos. I did a commentary one, a non-commentary one, and ones where I just record the bosses. And the amount of interest that I see in terms of the audience is very small. So like I said before, I don't want to waste effort. And I don't want to waste effort into doing something when the reward is obviously going to be so small. And this isn't like being selfish or anything like that. This isn't like being selfish, arrogant, or anything of that sort. It's more of me just like, okay, I need to move on instead of truly wasting my time with this. Mighty Number 9 is also being uploaded. I will do the raid DLC. I mean, it's only $5. I've actually already started the raid DLC as of the time of this recording and got 2 videos done for it. I appreciate how there's quite a few people that are going around saying like, oh, don't bother, it's worse than the main game, and there's still a lot of people that say like, oh, it's not Mega Man. But I look at like I don't really mind playing this game. I mean, I don't have too many like major issues with the game, aside from what I've mentioned before. And also, it's pretty much like the only other game that's actually getting attention at this point. So I might as well milk it for all it's worth as of right now, because eventually, like, people are not going to be interested in it unless I'm one of those mad popular dudes that can just do a video on any given game and everyone will love it instantly. What else? Another one is Jump Jet Rex, which I'm surprised that there's not too many people that actually heard of this. I generally bought the game, like, one, it was on the Steam sale, and two, when I looked at the game, I was actually rather interested in it. I'm not sure if I'll do the Rage Quit Rex bit from what I was hearing in the game. It's like, I mean, like I said before, the audience reception is small, and I got the game because I knew I'd have fun with it. And I am having fun with the game. Star Ocean Till the End of Time. I'm sorry, but I'm still playing through this game. But it's taking way longer than I originally intended for this game to take. And I wanted to try and record everything I could for this game. There's really not much else to say on this, but there is more stuff of this coming. I have not forgotten. The same thing goes for Pokemon Leaf Green. I've recorded one part yesterday as of this recording. So that'll be up soon. Or that'll be I'll have that uploaded soon. Like, don't worry, I'm getting back into it. I'm just there's a couple of things that I'm waiting on. One is I want to get a new surge protector, because the one that I have my GameCube plugged into, I think it's becoming a fire hazard, or it's just starting to become really old. It actually sparked at me the other day. Well, when I tried to plug something in. When I plugged something in and I turned on that surge protector, it actually sparked for a minute, and I was like, okay, so I better not use this surge protector anymore. So I actually need to go out and go buy a newer surge protector. I mean, it's this one's probably old, and it definitely should be replaced instead of risking a fire hazard. Final Fantasy Explorers, I've just recorded a lot of content for this game, and I'm getting around to uploading it. I'm not exactly sure if I'll do the post game. Not 100% sure if I'll do the post game or not. I'm debating about that, because I am at the end of the game, but I'm not sure if I'll do post game, because I'm actually having difficulty finding people to play online with this game. For this game. So that's pretty much about it. Well, there's also Final Fantasy Tactics, which all I really need to do is just sit down and just actually breeze through the game instead of just waiting for time and time again before playing it. The main problem for me with playing games, and the main problem for me with playing games is I want to play them all, but I either get to a boring part, or I'm at a heavy grinding session, and then I leave that game for something else because something new just got released, and I'm like, okay, well, I want to play that. And so it's really hard for me to keep my focus on just one game in general till I beat it. especially since the mentality of YouTube, or really just everyone in general, is like, okay, well, this game is new, and then like once a week or two passes by, like the game is old and nobody cares about it. So, and I brought this up before, like I'm not one of those popular YouTubers that can just play any given game and just get like a ton of views for it. I know this sounds selfish, and like I know I'm sounding selfish and whatnot, but at the same time, I'm trying to pay more attention to my audience, which is why I brought up the whole like, will I play this game comment that I've been receiving. It's like I know it sounds selfish, arrogant, and whatnot, but I'm trying to pay more attention to the viewers, as well as making sure that I'm playing games that I like. Because there's a lot of games where I'm just like, I don't want to play this game. This game just is, And then there's games that I want to play. Then there's games that like YouTube wants to see. So it's a huge debate in between. It's a huge debate like in between all of that. Now I do have a bunch of games that are coming soon, but I don't have time. I don't have time to like read off this list. Instead, I wrote a list on my blog of all the games that are going to come soon, or that are or that are definitely coming soon. So if you want to see it, like, you can just check the blog. And it's like that's another thing that I'm also trying to pay more attention to, is updating my blog a lot more than what I have been. So I think that's all I need to talk about here. There's not really much else I need to talk about. I do have a couple of random things I've been noticing with the YouTube channel. And like this one actually happened yesterday, and I really had to put a stop to it. There was a random person like posting their role playing profile in the comment section of various videos, and it was like, at first I saw it, it was like, oh well, this just happened only once, and I laughed at it. It's like I generally laughed at it for that one. Then I started seeing like it happened again, and it was starting to happen again over and over and over again. And I was like, okay, well, this has to stop. Now I know that this is a thing, like this is a thing that furries do. Like this is a thing that furries do, like on various social media sites. And I have to say that YouTube is not the place for role play. At least in my opinion, like YouTube is not the place for role play. I mean, you have Google Hangouts, you have Google Plus, you have Facebook, you have all these other places that you can do it. So I'm honestly not putting up to this. I put a stop to that person posting the same comment across videos. Because it was starting, like, it stopped. It went from being funny to being annoying. So I definitely had to put a stop to seeing. I definitely had to put a stop to seeing that comment, and I started marking that person's comments as spam, to the point where I generally blocked that person's videos. What else is a random thing? There's not really much random that also happened. There's not really much else random that's also happened over the past month or so. Anyway, I will call this a video. I've been talking for 35 minutes. This is Brad Reed, the Gaming Mole, signing off. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. you next time.
Initializing power down sequence. Until next time.
Oh yeah! This is happening! Huh? What's up?